Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video out in the workshop, and you're going to be in a different type of view. Today I'm going to go ahead and attempt to put this rear differential back together again for my Losi MTXL. Now it's been about a good week or so that I torn this apart. A lot of things happened, so I want to go over a little bit of what happened. As you've seen in my previous videos, I bought a bandsaw. It's going to require a lot of my attention here to get it up and running like brand new again. So that's what I've been dealing with. And so right now I want to show you what came in the mail. Alright, here, this, the FID Racing Diff housing. It came in the mail from China. Yes, that was like, what, $72 plus $7 shipping and handling. Pretty pricey, but let's see. And then I also bought some bearings. Well, I kind of screwed up. I bought 20 bearings, the ones that go on the shaft right here, on this gear shaft pinion. I thought these were the same as the ones that fits on the diff cup for the out shafts here, and boy was I wrong. That's fine, I got plenty of those, so because that's what the bearing looks like. It was all beat up. So that these two tubes here are full bearings. There's 20 bearings right here. So I got more than enough to rebuild my whole truck with bearings. So yay. So for the past week or so, I let these bearings in here soak in oil. Woo! And the oil that I'm using is the old Kawasaki gear oil that I had laying around for probably about 10 years. I've had this. And that was for my old four-wheeler that I had. So these bearings have been soaking in here for almost 2 weeks now. I have to reuse these bearings because they are a different size than the ones I bought. So that's fine. I'll just have to order some more someday. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start assembling this. I'm going to go ahead and sit you back down here. Hopefully this turns out. My cell phone is not working right out in the workshop for some reason. Trying to get you settled in there. There we go. That should be alright. And plus my air conditioning right there is so loud, I don't want to be too loud so you don't hear it. So I got that shut off. So right now I'm just getting tools ready. Yeah, let's go ahead and open this up. This is kind of neat. Never did this before in my life. Let's go ahead and open this up and see what she looks like. Man, it feels like it's plastic, but boy, that's weird looking. It's definitely aluminum. I got it black so it'll match. And it only took 15 days to get here from China. And it said July 8th was the estimated delivery date. I'm kind of glad it came in early. Yeah, it's a really nice hot summer day out there today. Okay, it looks like it's going to be a 3mm screws. Alright. Well, those are pretty nice screws. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this apart. Just take the screws out and see what we got going on. Like I said, I've never done this before. It shouldn't be too hard, but you never know. These screws over here. Got a lot of screws everywhere. Hopefully you can see everything here. There we go, we'll just do it this way. Yeah, it's probably like 85 degrees out. It is nice. Not complaining at all. I'd rather sweat than freeze. Alright. There's the two halves. Pretty nice. Look at that, man. It kind of locks into place. FID Racing. Alright, so I just want to pull that apart. Now we might as well go ahead and do the diff cup here. The HR Hot Racing. So the first things first, I need to re-clean these gaskets here because I've been doing a lot of sawing and a lot of metal shavings have been flying around here, so I better clean everything back up again. And this time I am wearing gloves. Okay, that goes right there. We might as well clean this one while we're at it. Oh, so I hope you guys liked that bandsaw video. I didn't know if I should post something like that or not, but it's something that interested me. I've been talking about for years, getting a bandsaw for years, and finally broke down and got one. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we need to put the bearings on. See, I almost forgot. So we're going to reach down in the cup here. Oh, get out of there. Oh yeah, she's dripping. I figured out these bearings are really good, so I might as well use them. Yeah, we're going to keep them all slippery. So we're going to go ahead and put that on like that. Already greased up. So now what we need to do, I'm going to go ahead and get some of this diff oil here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off. It comes like that. There we go. And what we're going to do, oh, that's all filthy, is we're just going to tip it upside down for a minute. It is going to take some time. I'm going to grease that O-ring before I put it down there. Boy, this stuff, you should have seen the million weight. I had to scrape it out. Okay, there it is. So So we're going to leave it lay right there. Grab that O-ring, get it all lubed up, just like that. And now we're going to get this ring, this washer, get it ready. We're going to go ahead and put that rubber O-ring down in there. Fits just like a glove. So we're going to go ahead, put that washer down there like so. Just like that. And now we're going to go ahead and put this out drive up through. And it's going to push everything up. So you want to be careful. Make sure everything sits right back down in place. What I'll do is I'll use this to push everything down flat. Make sure it's in that groove. Looks pretty decent. And now we're going to put this washer back down on there. Like so. And that's going to actually help push down everything. And now for this out drive, remember the hole right here, right there, needs to be shown through this hole right here. So you could put this pin back in and line it up in that hole. So it's right there. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. It's kind of hard to grab. There we go. And we're going to put it right back in there like that. Oop. Just like so. Just put it in there. Now we have to look in deep down inside and line up the hole. I gotta get the pointer. And this is how you line it up and you get that pin back in that hole to hold everything back. Just like that. Oh, keep falling out. Almost had it. It always happens. Oh, the lighting's not too good. When you do stuff like this, you gotta have a steady hand, which I do not have, and you gotta have proper lighting. There we go. See, that just fell right into place. Just like that. Alright. That's good news. Whoa, she's starting to drip out. Alright, well, we don't want it all to drip out. There we go. So now we have that in. We have our bearing all greased up, ready to rock and roll. Now we have to put on one of these gears. And you got to line that pin up inside of one of these. So I'll just drop it down in, push down, and just keep turning that. Put pressure on it, and you feel it drop right into place, just like that. All right. Now, what we got here? Okay, yeah, we can let that sit up like that now. What's next? Okay, we could do this one. Alright. So we can put this out drive shaft in. And we have to do the same thing. We got to lube up this bearing, which I have a lot of silicone right there. It's a messy job. We'll go ahead and put that bearing, or the rubber seal in there. That's what she looks like. And now we take this washer and we put it down there like that. Now we have to get the other bearing out of the soaking oil. Yeah, like I said, I thought for sure I thought all these bearings were the same size for the diff. Boy, was I wrong. So we're going to go ahead and put that on that like that. Go ahead and put this through like so. We'll go ahead and click on that bearing. Just like that. Okay, so you can see that hole pretty good right there. So we're going to go ahead and take this pin and put it in. Just like that. Look at that. That's almost perfect. Right about there. Alright, see, we got the out shaft right there. We got the bearing on. It's so important about that bearing. Then you take your gear and you drop it down in like that. Push it and hold and turn your out drive shaft. See how it fell right into place? So now you're in the groove. And there, that's all put back together. Alrighty, that's looking good. So now, take a look at this here. Alrighty. So now what we have to do is take your diff cup here and put your spider gears in. And like I said in the past video, you got to worry about this little notch right here. When you put the bottom one in first, make sure that notch is up like that, alright? And you put these on like this and like that, just like so. And then you have to drop that down into the grooves like that, just like so. And you can see that little notch is right there. You can move it if you're not quite centered up like there. Now, it's getting a little warm out here. Go ahead and get the other one. Put that on. Gears are facing inwards. And you drop that down. But make sure that groove on that shaft is facing down, so you can interlock with the other one down below. And look at that, she fell right into place. That's perfect. Perfect fit. That's great. Something's working out. So now the fun part is you got to find your grub screw that they give you, which is right there. Now I got a hole in this bag somewhere. Gonna make a bigger hole in this bag. There goes the grub screw that we need. And we're just gonna lightly turn that grub screw in like this, just to get it started. I will put Loctite on there. And remember, that grub screw, you could screw that thing all the way in until it falls out on the inside. I don't like that. That's why on the stock, they give you this screw with a big head like that, so it'll stop. But we'll chance it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and give some of this 100K diff oil to the diff cup. There she comes. There she goes. Yeah, this half bottle should be more than plenty. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that grub screw in. And remember, this stuff is messy. Really messy. So we got our Loctite right here. that out of the screw area. Well, everything's greasy. And we're just going to douse that Loctite like so. We're going to bring it out a little bit more. Take it completely out and get some Loctite on there. And we're going to screw it in. And we're going to go flush for right now. Boop. Alrighty, so now we got that Loctite. And the reason why I wasn't going to do that, because when you put the pressure on, that fluid needs to go somewhere. And that's right, I'll unscrew it again and do it again. So now, what I normally do is just let that baby sit and sit. And sometimes I turn the out shaft like that. Just turn it to help it go down. And it is right now, it's going down. But you don't want to pop the gears out either. And sometimes that happens when you're turning it. So be very gentle when you're turning that. We'll let that sit for a few minutes. And then we'll add a little bit more. Alright, so far so good. Okay, it's been sitting for a while now. I had to add more Diff oil in there. That's what she looks like. I don't want to tip it too much. And I think that's plenty. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and lube up this gasket here with some of this silicone Diff grease, whatever you want to call it, Diff fluid. So we're going to go ahead and make it all nice and tacky and clean. And we are going to put it back on to this, just like so. And line up the holes, the 4 holes, so you can see through it. And there. Now we are ready for assembly. Gotta wipe off my gloves here. Alright. And again, it's important to wear gloves. So we're going to go ahead and get all the screws out. It's only 4 screws. You have to use the 4 brand new ones that came with your hot racing aluminum Diff cup. Okay. And again, this works for the Losi DBXL also. Just to throw that out there in case you guys didn't know. There's the part number. And here's the 4 screws, like so. We are going to put some Loctite on those. So we're going to go ahead and put this right on the top and try to line up the holes as best we can. And that looks like that'll do it right there. Perfect. So I'm pretty sure it's a 2mm. Yep, a 2mm. Yeah, it's nice to have tools, the right tools, especially if they're color coded. I know that the blue is 2mm and the orange is 3. So we're going to go ahead and just put just a little bit, because we're screwing back into aluminum. As soon as I get it down in there, you have to get it started. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, maybe it shifted. Let's lift it back up. No, it's right. It's right on the money. So we're going to go ahead and put that back on. Like so. But that's what you do, guys. You just put the screws back in and you'll be good to go. I tell you what, YouTube, that is one nice diff right there. Look at how beautiful that came out. That is really nice. I'm going to go ahead and shut my air conditioning off. Alrighty. Oh, there we go. So after we got that all cleaned up, boy, oh boy, I wiped it all down because it was coated with that diff oil. She is nice. So the next step will be putting it in its aluminum diff housing. Okay, so first things first, you're going to notice it looks different. That's a large cup and that's a tiny cup. The large cup means you have to drop this down in here like that so it'll fit. And you got to put some pressure to lock that bearing into place. It's a pretty tight fit in there. Yeah, that should do it right there. Yeah, that should be it. Oh, that's... look how nice that spins. Boy, that is gorgeous. Okay. And if you don't get it down all the way, you'll know it. Okay, so we'll put that over here. Now we take this one here. No, we won't take this one here. We'll come back to this one. Now we got to put the gears, this gear in here like so. Like that. Which means we have to add bearings. Well, we're going to add the new bearings I just bought out of this nice pack. Looks like a roll of quarters. There's the two brand new bearings. And what I want to do is I'm going to drop them down in this oil here. Give them a nice coat of oil. Hopefully they'll soak inside there a little bit. We'll let the air bubbles come out. That's what's happening. It's filling up in there. Now I'll make sure that they're oiled. That looks like that should be good enough. Okay, let's grab the picker here. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and put this right onto the shaft like this. Like that. Now I'm pretty sure that those spacers belong right there. I should have double checked that, but it sure does look like that belongs right there. Yeah, it should be right. Now we're going to go ahead and grab the other one. Like that. And we're going to go ahead and put that on there like that. But I will double check before I put this cup on, because once this cup is on, it's on. Alright, YouTube. I've noticed one thing about this aluminum is you have to really press that down in hard. I mean hard, till that bearing sits. Alright, because you can tip it upside down and that baby's not going to fall out. So you got to make sure that bearing sits in there nice and flush. Because if not, this gear here won't sit in there correctly. The neighbor's dogs are barking right now. Hopefully you don't hear that. So when you sit that in there, see when I turn it, it's going around and around and around. So that looks good right there. Alright, so that makes me a little happier now. It wasn't just sitting down correctly, and I also Loctite these screws here, these grub screws. When you put this on, do as tight as you can. Okay. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some AMSOIL water resistant grease. It's a synthetic grease. And let's see. It doesn't tell you the temperature or anything like that, I don't believe. But it's AMSOIL, so I'm going to put some grease right on the teeth on that gear right now. So we're just going to go a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there. Yeah, we need a little bit more. And a little bit right there. Okay, so I got like 4 spots around there. Now, the gear will, when it turns around, it will use the grease that it needs. And another thing I want to do is put some grease in between these bearings right here. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but I don't think it's going to hurt. It should stay open there. Put a lot of grease in there, just pack it. Maybe it's going to help, and maybe not. Who knows? Alright, we'll just do it that much right there. And we'll go ahead and set that down in there. Use this cap to hold everything there. Nice. So, next thing you want to do is put some grease on the edge of your housing here where the 2 halves meet. Just like so. And the reason for this, in case you're new to the hobby, it's going to water seal that a little bit better. There we go. That's why you wear gloves. I'm just going to put a little bit more here and there. It's a messy job, but boy, is it going to help out in the long run. There. Now I'm going to wipe off my gloves. Where's that rag at that I had? Oh, it's up here. Alright. Alright, so now the final step is putting this second half down on, and hopefully that bearing will seat right in there. Okay, I heard a little knock at the front door here. That's going to be a little difficult. But somehow you got to bang that down in there and let it sit flat. Well, that wasn't too fun at all. Right there. You have to push this together so hard and make sure that bearing is lined up inside there, because if you don't, this will never close. And it honestly, what I did was I put this in my vise with a towel around it and viced it right here and here, and just lightly squeeze it, then turn it around and did it again, so there's no scratches, there's no dents, there's no nothing. And there, that's without screws in it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and put the screws in. And let's take a look at these. I think they're 3mm, yep. So, and again, we're going to use Loctite because we're screwing into aluminum. Gotta shake this up a little bit. Always shake your Loctite up. Had to take off my gloves because it was getting way too slippery with all that silicone oil. There we go. We'll put one in. We'll just lightly snug them for right now. Loctite is your friend. It works. The blue. If you use the red, like a newbie like I did, you won't be able to get it back out without stripping the threads or doing something. Mine was the intake. Really stripped it pretty badly when I used red Loctite. Wasn't going to tell nobody, so don't tell nobody. Don't use the red. Go ahead and put the last screw in. It's a nice tight fit, that's for sure. We're just going to do this by hand. Hand tight is all. Okay, get that one in there. There we go. There. Now we'll get a nice rag. We'll go ahead and clean it off. And we've got to make sure she turns. Oh yeah, look at that. That's nice. Yes, she's turning all right. I love it. Yeah, we'll clean her off. Make her look all nice and shiny. There's that new bearings. The new bearings are in. I wish I would have got new bearings for that, but they weren't bad. Definitely that sealed bearing was bad. Big old dent right there in the upper left hand corner. So this should be a permanent fix for the rear differential. It should be. I'm not going to show you how that I'm going to put it all back together. I'm going to do that off camera. It's getting kind of late. It's a Wednesday night or afternoon. It's like, what time is it? 6:37. I still have to upload this and render it and all that good stuff. But yeah, that's going to be nice. Yes, that's going to be really nice. FID. I recommend the black. In case you're like me, can't afford two until the time comes. Man, you're looking at a good $100 bill right there on parts. So what we're going to do is we're going to let everything sit overnight as is, and then hopefully the next following day I'll come back out here, rain or shine, and start putting my truck back together. After it's all back together, I'll turn on the camera. But yeah, what am I going to do with all these bearings? There's a lot of bearings left. Man, I only used two. 2 out of 20. I have 18 bearings left. Too bad they wouldn't fit my bandsaw. That'd be awesome. Hey, you never know. That would be kind of cool. But I highly doubt it. I've got to figure out some more bearings. Maybe I will buy another set of bearings. I think they're the 12s. 12 millimeters that go in here. So maybe I'll do that, order a set, because that took over a week to get here too. That's weird. Now I gotta clean up this place. It is filthy in this workshop, but hey, that's what a workshop does, you know. You build things, you fix things, and of course it's gonna get dirty. Alrighty guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video because it was very difficult to make. My phone is acting up, so I can't really see the angle of the video, so I'm trying to get it in the camera. Boy, is that nice. Very, very nice. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching, and I'll be talking to you.